Anyways, welcome back to the C-Files. Today we're going to be continuing Sonichu, no surprise there, and we will move on right into issue 3. So join me as we go right into Sonichu. Issue 3 is where we start to get acquainted with the rest of the Sonichu cast, specifically the Chaotic Combo, which appears on the cover of the comic. This comic has all of our friends in it, which I'll introduce when we begin the issue. We also get a bird character, who is not part of the Chaotic Combo. There's also another character in the top left that appears to be another Sonichu type character that is also not a part of our main cast. Anyhow, the comic opens with another copyright page, but then again this is par for the course, so I'll just stop mentioning them unless the page doesn't appear or something like that. We begin on episode 10, entitled Sonichu Babies. Chris has his usual giant wall of text. Once upon a time, a powered-up hedgehog collided with a Pikachu and a rainbow of Chaos Emerald energy stretched for miles across the land. From this rainbow, 5 mysterious eggs flew from it to locations around the region. Mysterious beams of light also shone from the rainbow, but that's another story or two. Anyway, one egg landed in the jungle and was found by a mother Venusaur and a father Scyther. Another egg landed on the beach and was found by a mother Swampert. Another egg landed softly on a church stoop, and it was found by a couple of nuns. Another egg landed in a dojo occupied by young and old warriors. And the last egg landed in the mountains by its lonesome. Let's see how these eggs hatched and grew. Chris appears on the bottom of the page and says, "Cute intro, huh? Just so you know, here are the original Sonny and Rosie, Sonichu and Rosichu babies. And we get a little picture of them. Goo goo gaga. Other baby noises." Moving on to the next page, we get to see the origins of each Chaotic Combo member. The first page is Wild, which shows him learning how to use his abilities, and since they're Pokemon, they only speak with their names as dialogue. But then again, Wild is raised by Pokemon, so how in the hell does he learn the English language? Because on the next page, Wild is speaking in full sentences. He swings around with vines like Spider-Man and chops wood, destroying his own home. He says to the reader, "You think that's something? I could use my leafy tail as propeller and I can run real quick. I also blended with any tree to get my jump. I rule this jungle," smiley face. Can't really blend in when you're chopping down trees, now can you, Wild? Next we get Bubbles Rosechew. Her first page is just her being a child until the event where the Swampert gets crushed by a whale lord.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg.
During Bubbles' daring rescue, she evolves into normal Bubbles, and also knows the English language now for some reason. She saves her adoptive mother, and then we get the whole moment ruined by a chunk of text at the end of the page that says, "My mama Swampert was excited after I rescued her. Now I freely swim the ocean that is my backyard." I think those should be the other way around, though. Anyways, I found many friends in the future, but I'll never forget what my mama said. "Stay strong and true to your heart, and you will prevail." I'm so happy, I think I'll make a seashell necklace. Masterful writing. Purely masterful. The next page is Angelica Rose. This one actually has dialogue on the first page because Angelica is picked up by nuns. The door opens and the nuns say, "Oh, sister, the Lord has blessed us with a young one from above." The other nun replies, "Yes, let's bring it in and offer our prayers upon its health." Also, now that I think about it, if the nuns live in the same world as Pokemon, wouldn't you think that they'd know it's a Pokemon egg? Because last time I checked, Pokemon exist within this world, and I'm also assuming that some Pokemon are represented in religion within Pokemon, so like something like Arceus, you know? I don't know. Maybe it's like the Virgin Mary rode into Bethlehem on a Mudbray or something. Wouldn't like Jesus be like a Pokemon trainer who uses his Pokemon for the betterment of others rather than fighting to begin with? Long story short, is it even reasonable for the nuns to like even think that the Pokemon came from above? They didn't see it. Anyhow, moving on. Angelica hatches and the nuns help her learn to use her wings. One night when she's like sleeping and stuff, Chris, being the total fucking creep that he is, sneaks into her window and gives her a scrunchie and some shoes. Chris says, "Well, she was going to need those shoes and scrunchie. Sleep well, Angel." Smiley face. Ugh. gives me shivers. The next morning, Angelica is sitting with the nuns. She finishes the conversation off the page and says, "And I just woke anew." One of the nuns says, "Well, Angelica, I knew the Lord would have a grand plan for you." The other nun agrees by saying, "Yes, he gave you a great script to follow." If that's the case, this script is not very good, knowing what comes in later issues of the comic. Angelica also gets her own text chunk. It says, "I am Angelica, humble servant to our Lord. Having faith over time will reward you very well, and one day you shall be blessed with good health and true love and pure happiness. Spread your wings and fly." Our next chaotic combo member is Punchy Sonichu, which, his design is just Knuckles with Pikachu ears. Would he even be an electric hedgehog Pokemon? He should be more like an electric echidna Pokemon instead. The page starts in Nabe's dojo, where the students are being taught by Master GDW, also known as Shinabe or Nabe-san. This is actually a blatant renaming of Shinichi Watanabe's self-insert character Narration from Excel Saga. The character was mostly used to poke fun at the production of the anime, but for some reason Chris used him in the comics and just changed his name, further showing that Chris has no idea what the hell copyright infringement means. Anywho, Shinabe says, "Now, we will perfect our chopping technique. You'll never know when you need to cut a movie." I too also cut movies in half, but usually I prefer scissors. Soon the egg hatches and Punchy appears. He poses, which surprised Shinabe. He says, "Great Excel Pomi Saga!" And then Punchy motions to fight. Out steps Shinabe's daughter, Maipo, which is a renaming of the character Poemi from Puni Puni Poemi. Punchy makes a couple Pokemon noises and does the "come on and fight me" thing with his hand, which the challenge is accepted by Maipo. She then says, "I accept your challenge, because I, Maipo, calling myself Byashiko, will not allow a grasshopper like you into my director dojo shin so easily." Now, to someone who doesn't understand the intricacies of Chris's writing, this seems like nonsense, but actually if you run the sentences through base 64, you get literal nonsense. But there is an actual meaning to this text bubble. Maipo is actually Pomi from Puni Puni Pomi, a spin-off of the anime Excel Saga. In the spin-off, she is the adoptive daughter of Nabeshin, who in the comics is called Shinabe. But in the spin-off, she calls Nabeshin director as a fourth wall breaking joke, since Shinichi Watanabe is the director of Excel Saga and in turn the spin-off Puni Puni Pomi. Her calling herself Byashiko is a reference to Pomi calling herself Kobayashi in Puni Puni Pomi, as it's the name of her voice actress. Shinabe says, "Maipo, I'm only your father in this setup. Stay in character!" Chris also budges in. "Yeah, I'm the director of this anime, not Shinabe." This is more of a reference to where Shinabe, or Nabeshin, makes fun of the production of the anime that he stars in, except Chris takes the reins. Very original. Maipo says, "That doesn't matter. I will win this fight, and my opponent does not need this weak point. Hiya!" Maipo then rips off Punchy's tail, which is also a reference to Dragon Ball. Ugh! This injury causes Punchy to evolve immediately. He says his first words, "That really hurt!" And he uses a sky uppercut to send Maipo into orbit. Shinabe is amazed and says, "Wow, you are strong! I know what my Maipo did was wrong, but if you will let me, I can teach you how to center that power into a much better, less painful-looking style." So Shinabe totally turns a blind eye to the possible death of his adopted daughter, and asks the creature who killed his kid if they want to learn to get better. Punchy gets his own chunk of text saying, "I am Punchy, strike ninja! I studied under GDW Shinabe, and I became the greatest fighter since Goku." Wait, so you're nigh invincible? I think Goku only, died once or something. That would make Punchy an unkillable being. Also, is Dragon Ball fiction in this world, or does Goku exist in the world of Sonichu? Punchy continues, "I also learned to keep my temper down by watching TV comedies. Ha ha ha! They are so funny!" We then move on to our final member of the chaotic combo, Magi-chan Sonichu. Magi-chan's egg flew into a cave. Magi-chan starts his life already knowing the full extent of the English language, thinking it to himself. I thought they learned it through evolving. But I guess they already know it. God, this comic fucking fries my brain. After claiming it's dark and asking where he is, he asks if he's alone, and he gets a response telepathically. You are not alone. Who are you? Where are you? What is this place? I will be your mentor. While you grow, I am telepathing with you from a grand city. You are in a cave northwest of here, where I temporarily resided. What do you want? I noticed you had psychic abilities like me. I only wish to teach you how to use your powers properly, and when I have finished teaching you, you will go out into the world and seek your destiny. The next page has a bunch of expositionary dialogue. And so for months, the mysterious mentor taught this Sani how to hone his powers, lift objects mentally and physically, and what the outside world was like. The mentor also showed the young one images of popular movies, some featuring Jackie Chan. Hold on, just like images? Like, couldn't he show him the movie? And why Jackie Chan? Why can't he just show him martial arts fights rather than Jackie Chan movies? If he did that, then you could play with the idea of like a character who doesn't understand the pop culture references and the other characters make. Classic fish out of water trope, mind you. And it could be entertaining, but he skipped out on that. What a missed opportunity. Anyways, the latest pop/rock music, a few birthday parties for a treat. Well, that's sad. And the monuments, parks, and other grand locations from around the world. You know what this reminds me of? The Giver. As far as I know, Chris wasn't much of a reader, but this block of text kind of reminds me of the book The Giver by Lois Lowry. It was a book I read in middle school. It came out in 1993. The book was a science fiction book about a kid who lives in a dystopian society where all emotions and factual events from history are missing. But to keep them from disappearing completely, one man holds all of these emotions and facts, and this includes color. The characters can't see color for some reason. Anyhow, the main character learns all these things from the Giver, basically to be his protege, because the Giver is dying. And he transfers all these feelings of happiness and sadness and war and stuff into the main character. This thing with Magi-Chan and Mewtwo, because we all know this, it's fucking Mewtwo, right? It literally is Mewtwo on the fucking page. Anyways, the thing with the both of them is basically just the Giver, but weird. Anyways, one day while meditating, Magi-Chan evolves into his full form and then fucking rips ass on the page. Fucking hilarious. 2 weeks after this, Mewtwo appears again. Magi-Chan Sonichu, I have taught you everything I have to teach you for now. You as well as your powers have grown marvelously. Master, will I ever meet you face to face? We will meet in the future, but now, go out into the world and seek your destiny. Magi-Chan teleports to the top of the mountain and says, Thank you, Master. I will not fail. I predict success in my future, for I see other hedgehog Pokemon in great adventures. My destiny is just to teleport away. The final line on the page just says, Stay tuned for when these hedgehogs meet. Which is just, again, the way of, it's the fact that it's written like a TV show. The next page is an ad, but it's also a template for Chris's MySpace page. Man, remember MySpace? The page is just a picture of Chris, his username is Quick Sample, and his tagline is, It's a me, Quick. His basic intro is empty. His only friend is Sonichu, and he doesn't have any comments. But the main thing is his pitch for MySpace. It says, MySpace.com, a great place to find some friends or that special someone. Communicate between each other for free. Sign up is free. Log on, go http://www.myspace.com now to sign up and have fun with other members, as well as our games and music sections. We then move on to the next episode. Episode 11, the chaotic combo in When Hedgehogs Meet. We then get a massive expo dump from Flame the Sunbird, which is just Kazooie from Banjo-Kazooie. It says, Hello, I am Flame the Sunbird. I am not a Pokemon, nor am I related to one. I am the protector of the legendary Master Sunstone. The Master Sunstone controls how everything in the world grows. As long as it remains on my island monument, everything will grow like Norma. But if it was to fall into the wrong hands, everything would fall into chaos. Humans could grow extra body parts or lose them. Trees would grow legs and walk the earth in anger. But I, Kazooie, Flame the Sunbird, make sure that the Master Sunstone stays in place, and together to ensure proper growth, that makes it very powerful. You know something? Isn't this just the Master Emerald and Knuckles on Angel Island? Why not just use that? Sonic is in the comic. Why not just put Knuckles in too? No shame, Chris. No fucking shame. The next page has less dialogue, thank God. Flame is sitting guarding the stone. He says, "Man, it gets lonely here. And I could use some pants." Just then, unbeknownst to our discount Kazooie, Blotchu jumps from a helicopter and skydives to the island with a fun dip stick on his back. He then thinks about the briefing, and also about the fact that this is a literal blatant fucking ripoff of the intro to Sonic Adventure 2. Ooh, Chris Chando got no shame! Giovanni says to him, "Let's go over the mission once more, Black Sonichu. You'll need to swoop down to the island, get the stone, and bring it to me." "I got it, boss. I won't fail you." Then we go back to Blotchu flying down to the island while Giovanni's voice plays in his head. "You'll use the hoverboard to glide over the ocean at top velocity. Be careful with the stone. I will use its power to make our Pokemon stronger by making them grow. With our big, strong Pokemon, I will rule the world!" You got that? We then go back to Kaflamey. When they turn around, Blotchu already has the stone. He says, "What's up, Doc?" Flame calls out, "Where do you think you're going with my stone?" Black Sonichu says in one of the best lines in the world, "None of your birds, Wax! See ya!" He then flies off while Flame chases him yelling, "Hey you, get back here with my sunstone!" We then, like usual, get a map scope! Woo! Map scope! Anyways, and find out that the distance between the island and the mainland is 20 miles. Which gets me thinking, how come the island isn't a tourist destination? If a stone that could destroy everything is within a short boat ride, you think that more people would, want to go fucking look at it. Anyhow, Flame tries to hit Blotchu with a drill peck. Blotchu double teams, which makes it miss. Also, I'm not even sure that's how double team works. Flame says, "I missed? Big red light!" Which I don't even know what that means. The next page shows Bubbles on the beach, just sitting there and shit. She says, "It's so nice to just lie under the sun with the ocean at your feet." Then all of a sudden, Blotchu jets by on the hoverboard, sending a huge wave of water onto the shore, engulfing Bubbles. She says, "Hey, I didn't want a bath, get back here!" We then move on to Wild, who is swinging around the forest. Blotchu ends up hitting him, sending him spinning around a tree. Wild comments, "Man, that hurt! That jerk ain't gonna get away for that!" On the next page, Wild gives chase. Farther ahead, we move on to Punchy, who is tossing rocks for no reason. He tosses one up and his hand catches on Blotchu's hoverboard, and he gets dragged along for the ride. We then get another map scope, and holy crap, stop using these! Anyhow, Angelica is floating in the air looking at a flower bed that says hope and peace. She comments, "Calm and soothing for the eyes." Just then, Blotchu runs into her, sending Punchy into a tree and knocking Angelica onto the ground. Angelica tends to Punchy. She says, "Hey, are you okay?" Punchy responds with, "I think so." The conversation continues. "Thank the Lord." "Yeah." Punchy then comments on the flowers. "Wow, pretty flowers." Angelica responds, "Thank you. You should see them from above." Just then, the rest of the group shows up, and everyone seems shocked for some reason. Probably because Flame looks like he's about to do something really gross in front of everybody. The real reason they're all surprised is revealed on the second page. Wild thinks to himself, "Oh man, hedgehog Pokemon like myself? I can't believe it!" Bubbles thinks, "Wow, I'm not the only one around here. I wanted some friends, but I didn't expect this much." Punchy's brainwaves read, "Am I seeing triple? It's like being in a funhouse mirror room." Angelica mentally speaks to herself, "Bless this day! More hedgehog Pokemon!" Bubbles thinks to herself, "Why isn't anyone speaking? Oh well, I'll break the ice." She does indeed break the ice by saying, "Hello, it's nice to meet you all. My name is Bubbles." "Humph, you can call me Punchy." "I'm delighted. My name is Angelica. And I'm Wild. I was following this black guy on a board." Oh, Chris, why do you write like this? The next page has Magi-chan standing, somewhere, and then he gets a brain blast. He says literally to no one, "It seems my electric hedgehog group just got together, But as they chatter away, Black Sonichu is getting away with Flame Sunstone. But fortunately, I foresee the original one crossing his path and detaining him. I must meet my group and teleport them to the Black One's location. Oh my god, Chris. Magi-chan then teleports from the rock into the middle of nowhere. Meanwhile, Sonichu is also thinking to himself as he's running. When I heard through the grapevine that Black Sonichu was stealing a powerful stone, I couldn't help but rush to intercept him and return it to where it came from. What grapevine? Who told you? But the plot demands it, so Sonichu just shows up. We can't find any other way to include him now, can we? No, we can't. Then we go back to Black Sonichu, who is almost at Giovanni's lair. He also thinks to himself, my god, why is everybody thinking to themselves? Holy shit. Man, too many obstacles. I'll be too glad to return to Giovanni's lair. The next page is an action scene with Sonichu knocking Blachu off his hoverboard. But it's also followed by the phrase Banzai, which if you didn't know is a Japanese battle cry, although the meaning is supposedly 10,000 years of life to you. Long story short, I don't think Sonichu should have said it. Black Sonichu, realizing who it is, shouts out, "You!" Sonichu then says to Black Sonichu, I will not let you and Giovanni harness such power and ruin peace of our world. Black Sonichu retorts, you will not stop us. We then go back to the chaotic combo. Magi-chan appears and just spews words out without explaining himself. Flame, Wild, Bubbles, Angelica, Punchy. I am Magi-chan Sonichu. While the 5 of you were chatting, Black Sonichu has gotten away with the Sunstone. Currently, he was intercepted by the original. The original what? Sunstone? I know it's supposed to be Sonichu, but through context clues and whatnot, it makes it sound like Black Sonichu got caught by the real Sunstone. Also, to someone who hasn't even seen Sonichu, they probably wouldn't know that Black Sonichu is just a clone, maybe like an evil twin or something. But certainly not a clone. Even so, in the Sonic series, Shadow isn't a clone of Sonic. In fact, Shadow's a lot older. Anyhow, Magical Magi-chan the Sonichu continues. We must join him, take Blachu down, and get the Sunstone back. All of them say yeah, and then Magi-chan teleports them to Sonichu. The next page shows them flying. I thought they were teleporting. Isn't teleporting supposed to be near instantaneous? Or does Magi-chan's teleport just make them move really fast? I don't know. Also on the page it says, it's got a little tune here, and it says, go, go, electric hedgehogs, do-do-do-dee-oh-do-do. It's a little song. Sonichu dodges Blachu's punches, and Sonichu says, Black Sonichu, give me the stone or I'll zap you! Blachu replies triumphantly, You and what army? The next page shows a lot of lines as Sonichu looks behind him and he says, My cavalry! But the real question is like, how did he even know that they were there? This doesn't make a darn lick of sense. I think it would have been better if Sonichu had no idea that these people were coming, and then it was just like, oh cool, some help! I feel like the presence of Magi-chan really removes any tension from the story to begin with, and that will become very evident in later issues. Blachu says, What the hey do I care? What the hey do I care? Lame. I'm still going to take you all down one by one! On the next page, Sonichu calls for a huddle, and in true cartoon football fashion, they all huddle up. Sonichu says, Alright, no time for round intros, just call me Sonichu. But, like, isn't that your name? Now, Blackies, oh, come on! Oh my god, why does he say that? Okay. Here we go. Now, Blackie's got a weak defense. Avoid his attacks and attack him with your punches. Kicks, wing attacks, that sort. Let's win this one for the bird and get the stone. Ready? I'm still wondering, how does Sonichu know all of this? That doesn't make sense at all. And the next bubble confuses me even more. Because they all say break, and then Flame says, I fell into the bushes. But if you go back on the previous drawing, he's in the huddle! What's going on? Anyhow, Blachu starts by charging up like in Dragon Ball Z, despite the fact that he said he was going to take them down one by one. The characters use their moves. Double Team, Razor Leaf, Mega Kick, Protect, Dig, and Light Screen. The next page completely skips the part where Blachu tries to attack them one-on-one, probably because a page like that doesn't exist. Chris never drew it. Instead, Punchy punches Blachu in the air with a Dig Part 2, Angelica uses Wing Attack, Wild uses Mega Punch, and Magi-chan doesn't use Light Screen, but instead starts using Psychic. Bubbles does a double slap, and Sonichu attacks him with a spin dash. Blatchu says,
"Oh no!"
in a panel that's flipped upside down. The next panel is a pinball machine for some reason, and there's no explanation as to why it turns into this, even if it's a reference. I don't get it. Even after this is over, we find out that Sonichu scores 500,000 points. This is pinball. I've played pinball before, and you can get well over 1,000,000 points very easily. So through theoretical mathematical analysis, Sonichu sucks dohongus at pinball. Sonichu says, "We did it! Black Sonichu is temporarily paralyzed, and Flame got the Sunstone. What are we now? Winners!" Finished comic book February 21st, 2006. Now you want to hear something funny? Flame doesn't show up until like 6 issues from now, but he doesn't say anything. So goodbye, because if you're not paying attention, this will be the last time you ever see him. And that ends our actual episodes of Sonichu, but we're not done yet. It's time for the sub-episode. But before that, we have an ad. Are you one out of 2 lonely males in the entire world? There's only 2. If you are, then call right now and we'll send you a beautiful girlfriend, free! But be careful, if you call now, late or early, you will not get a girlfriend, but a monkey. And you do not want a monkey. So call right now, 1-800 right now! This offer is valid only to 19 and older girlfriend-free virgin males. Background checks will be executed. Also, this ad is stupidly false. So aside from the phone number not being a proper number, as numbers usually go 1-800, 3 numbers, 4 numbers, if I call this number, I get a free monkey? Well then let's give him a call! I'm actually calling the number right now, Copper. So let's see. 1-800 RITENOW. Oh, it is a right number when you put it in. That's funny.
This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
Oh, this is
a special promotion today for select callers. If you are over 50, please press 1 now. If not, press 2.
Holy shit, this actually does something. I'm not over 50.
If you are 25 years or older, press 1. If you are under 25, press 2. Thank you for calling.
It just hung up because I'm under 25. Well, if somebody actually wants to figure out where the hell that goes, there you go.
Alright, fine. I'll find out for you.
This call may be recorded for quality assurance. We have a special promotion today for select callers. If you are over 50, please press 1 now. If not... Thank you for calling the Medical Alert Center. This is Jessica on a recorded line. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you.
Great. So, with our promotion today, you actually have the opportunity to receive a free medical alert device. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, it's that little button you wear around your neck that you press in case of an emergency or...
Like the life alert thing. Yeah, I know.
Now, when you're participating in our monitoring program, you actually can get your medical alert absolutely free. So, oftentimes it's really expensive to buy a device like this. So, we make it really simple for you. We pay for the entire unit itself and then ship it right to your house for free. And then, of course, we guarantee you 100% peace of mind, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, let's go ahead and get you some more info on it, okay?
I'm actually just calling about the ad that I saw for you.
I totally understand. But honestly, anyone can fall and get hurt, even the healthiest people. So it's really important to have a for help in case of an emergency.
Hold on.
Let's some more info, okay?
Hold on. I'm calling about your ad.
I'm sorry, you've reached the Medical Alert Center. Unfortunately, we're unable to assist you any further, but just...
I'm calling about the free girlfriend or the free monkey. Which one can I get?
Just please stay on the line while I transfer your call.
I want the free monkey.
Thank you for calling the Auto Savings Center. This is Sarah on a recorded line. Can you hear me okay?
I want my free monkey or my free girlfriend.
Great. Now, just for calling today, you do have the...
Shut up, you stupid...
Interesting. I did not expect that number to do anything. Fun. Okay. So, yeah, that was weird. Huh. We can now, I guess with that, let's move on to sub-episode 4, Mick Attack. This sub-episode was drawn on June 20th, 2005. Christian starts his self-pity session as usual. Well, it's been over 1 year and 10 months now since I've started my love quest. I still haven't found an 18 to 23-year-old boyfriend-free, smoke-free, non-alcoholic white girl to build a relationship from the ground up with. I detest the men, except for my father and me, because they take all the pretty girls, leaving me with none to choose from. This sucks, and I'm very lonesome. And there are people around here who will do what they can to keep me from getting one. I feel the world is against me finding a girlfriend of my own. Chris then changes the subject entirely. I really like these wings that I earned at the anime convention. I feel the level up, smiley face. Is it earning if you bought them? And if you don't see the wings on the page, not the ones on the side of the page, but the wings on the side of his head, why do they go there? Anywho, on the next page, 2 new villainous people arrive. One man in a yellow outfit, and a man who has robot arms and legs. The guy in yellow says, "What do you think you're doing here?" Chris says, "Oh, now what?" The yellow guy responds, "I am B Manager, and this is my partner, Married Senior Comic. We are the McDuo of McDeville, in the region of Walmart." Married Senior Comic introduces himself. "Hey there, how you doing? I have bionic limbs to keep me going." B Manager, and yes, the B does stand for black, continues. "We heard from the Jerkeef." The Jerkeef was in sub-episode 1 of Premiere Issue 0. "Of FA Square that you came here to find a girlfriend. It's illegal here in the region of Malwart to have a maid at all. He also sent us a pair of his mecha jerk-ops to intercept you, solicitor." Okay, so before we move on, I should probably decipher this whole thing from you. So MCDville in the Malwart region is the McDonald's and the Walmart where Chris has been since he got removed from FA Square, or the Fashion Square Mall, where he was in the earlier sub-episodes. So, in reality, Christian stays at a McDonald's and Walmart and loiters there with his DS and his attraction sign and just waits for someone to start dating him. Anyways, back to the story. Chris Chan, in a fit of rage, begins a small monologue. "Oh, that's it. First off, I'm not a solicitor. I'm only trying to find a boyfriend-free girl. And ever since I've started my love quest over 1 year and 10 months ago, I've had a lot of trouble from people, mostly men, who were against me finding a girlfriend of my own. And I still carried on with the spelling out of my situation to find one. So no matter what you do or say, I will not quit." So let me get this straight. Chris's plan is that when someone approaches him, he just goes into a spiel about how lonely he is. And in turn, his plea will touch the hearts and the boobs of whoever asks, and they'll immediately fall in love with him. B Manager says, "Then we fight! Mega Jerk-Ops attack!" Christian says, "Bring it on!" But just before they can fight, something swishes in the wind and destroys the Mecha Jerk-Ops. B Manager is confused. "What the? Ha-ha! Who goes there?" Christian, already knowing who it is because tension is dead in this world, says, "He's here! My latest Hedgehog hero!" The purple hero says his signature line. "I am the savior who dashes in the night. I am the Link who will save our beloved Princess Zelina Rosachu. I am Darkbind Sonichu!" Now, this is, in fact, not Magi-chan Sonichu dressed up like a tool, but is in fact a brand new character. Darkbind Sonichu, who is a mix between Sonic, Pikachu, Link, and Darkwing Duck. Yeah, you heard me right. Darkwing Duck. On the next page, Chris says, "It's so good. It's good of you to come to my aid, DB. I have come, not because you're the mayor of Quickville, Virginia, but my creator." Look at Chris, just giving that good old ego a stroke. Chris says, "Then, now it's the time for action." Chris continues, "Electric Hedgehog power!" And he starts his 37th Magical Girl transformation. Maybe it's 37? I don't know, I'm not keeping count. Christian writes his wings off by saying, "Wow, my anime wings became real wings. I bet this was done with my ancient powers. See issue 2. I can fly! Awesome!" And I didn't say this in the last video, but I'm going to say it now. When he says ancient powers, the reason it's spelled like that is because it's a pun. As ancient has the chew in it in Sonichu and Pikachu. So there you go, a little fun tidbit for you. A little nugget of information. Chris and Darkbind charge at B Manager and Married Senior Comic. The next page is just a line-for-line rip of the Black Knight scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But because I don't want to get copy striked and I hate the people who use movie clips in place of reactions in their reviews, I'm going to read this on my own, so fuck you! Darkbind dodges a sword, blocks and slices, and the Married Senior Comic's arm gets cut off. "Now stand down, worthy adversary!" "'Tis only a scratch." "A scratch? Your arm's off!" "No, it isn't." "What's that then?" "Well, I've had worse." "Liar! Come on, you pansy!" Darkbind then slices another arm off. He then kneels to say some random garbage. "Oh, Princess Selena, I will collect the balls and ah!" He is then kicked by Married Senior Comic. "I'll have at you!" "I'll have your bionic legs!" A swish is made and now Married Senior Comic is on the floor, completely limbless. "Alrighty then, we'll call it a draw." And I'll call it a poor excuse of a parody. Meanwhile, Super Chris Chan Sonichu Bros 2, plus Knuckles, including Dante from the Devil May Cry series, is fighting with B Manager in the sky. He uses an aerial ace to attack him. B Manager pulls out an actual gun, but Chris is faster than a bullet and uses Double Team to get behind him and shock him with a Thunderbolt. B Manager pulls out an axe and says, "That tears it!" Which I don't know about you, but that makes literally no fucking sense to me. Chris uses his substitute move to make a copy out of him out of pixel blocks, which is a toy that Christian actually plays with. The B Manager goes in for an unannounced vibe check, but then the pixel block structure breaks, causing the pieces to get stuck to his face. Christian finishes off the B Manager with a sky uppercut. He says, "For love, trust, and a girl, I shall smite thee!" Also, there's a little tiny man in the McDonald's at the bottom of the page. Could you just, imagine being a normal person in Chris's world? I feel like living in Quickville would be like an absolute nightmare. B Manager falls to the ground, and Married Senior Comic says, "You got you too, eh?" B Manager replies, "Shut up!" Darkbind turns to Chris and says, "Well, Chris, I have to go, but I'm glad that I was able to help you in this battle." Chris replies, "Thank you, DB." Darkbind runs away with a "I'm off!" And in true sub-episode fashion, we get one of the longest monologues from Chris in the comic. "Now, as for you two Managerks, the pain that you are both feeling now should be punishment enough for going against my quest for a boyfriend-free girl to love and trust. I do not care about your rules, either of you, or any male other than my father and myself. But let me make it perfectly clear that in my quest, it is very hard to find a girl due to the infinitely high boyfriend factor, and I do not want to risk getting a punch in the ace from a jerk. Also, since the ladies are unable to notice my person, because they mostly have shopping on their minds, I have to loudly spell it out. So please, leave me alone with my love quest!" Wow, Chris. What a speech. You are a true gamer, hating women and minorities. Joker would be proud. This whole speech just rolls up into, girls won't date me because I won't better myself. Girls are dumb, stoopy heads who have no brain. Chris's speech is cut off by someone saying, "Not if I have any say in the matter." Chris says the exact same thing that the B Manager said earlier. "What? Who goes there?" The loudspeaker responds, "I am the one who rules the Malwart region. I am the one who will destroy all your pitiful hopes in ever getting a girlfriend of your own. Where these clowns have failed, I shall triumph. I am the WM Manager!" Chris lets out a gasp and the comic ends on a cliffhanger. Well, I suppose this marks the end of this installment of the C-Files. Tune in next time as I continue the comics, reading more of the wonderful world of Sonichu. Also, thanks again to Copperhead for editing this video. Man, you're a huge freaking help. I could not do this shit without you. If you want to support Copperhead, go to twitch.tv/thecopperhead to see his just delectable streams. Also, thank you again to my boy BMB for doing this dope-ass thumbnail that he made for me. And if you want to support me and see more content, please consider subscribing. If you want to actually support me and what I do and have videos come out quicker, you can always donate on Patreon or something like that. I don't know. I'm not your bank accountant. Don't donate if you don't want. Hee hee hoo hoo. And I guess with that ends this episode of the C-Files. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all again soon.